All right, we are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
We are the Joneses, and we are new in these YouTube streets. But what we bring is not new. What we bring is a lot of experience, just real life experience in real estate,
Real estate, hair, mindset,
credit,
assets.
right? All that good stuff, guys. And so, as the newbies on the block, I've been looking around at how other people are putting their things together and like all the pictures and all that stuff that come along with these YouTube streets. And I do know that a lot of people have said I'm not going to do all that stuff, but they eventually end up doing it because that's what you guys want. And so we're going to in Rome, we're going to do what the Romans do. So this is our second video. We actually did one yesterday. And we put it up there, and we'd love for you to come and subscribe to what it is that we bring to the table, because we really bring something sincere. We really bring something pure, and it's information that will actually help you to be more, do more,
And have more.
and have more. All right.
Starting in 2024.
Starting in 2024. So what are some of the things that we're going to be talking about? Once again, when we talk about this whole healthy living, right? What are some things that the listeners can look forward to in future shows as well? Some of the topics.
How you eat, like some topics on how we incorporate juicing into our daily lives, making sure that you balance out that life with the death that you put on your plate, or death with life, right? Because the animals, they were once living, but once we begin to consume them, they are dead. So we want to make sure that you have an understanding of the balance. If you're not willing to go all in a plant-based lifestyle, we're not here to promote you doing just that, right? But we are here to help you balance and have a healthy lifestyle, so that way you can live out to see all these fruitful seeds that you have planted, and you get to enjoy your harvest come into fruition.
And as entrepreneurs, we come from two different ways of doing entrepreneurism, and we're going to bring those things together, and we want to help people who are looking for help. We're looking for people who are looking for us.
Yes.
So that's what this show is based all about. And we're married, right? We're a husband and wife team here. We're a power couple here. This is Laurentian, and once again, I'm CJ. And we just want to be an intricate part of your lives, that you look at us like you would look at coming on to watch General Hospital back in the days, or Regis and Kathy, or even Oprah, right? So we want to put that type of thing together where we want it to be interactive. We want to be able to really be a blessing to our audience. So with that being said, we're going to over-deliver, guys. We're going to go above and beyond. We know there's so much filth, so much nonsense that's out here, but we're looking for those people. Let's just kind of describe our avatar, man. Who would you say our avatar is? I'll start it off. People probably between the ages of 28 to 55, maybe a little higher.
I think
right?
a little higher, because you begin to, live life. You're at that place in your 50s, entering into your 60s, where you want to retire. Like, you don't want to keep doing the same things, and you want that time freedom. So in the space of time freedom, how can you gain more of your time, right? To be able to do the things that you enjoy in life, because most of us, we've raised our children and we're seeking what's next for us. So yeah, I would definitely say a little bit higher, because you've had some life experiences, some wisdom, and you want to take those things and be able to live out the rest of your life the best that you can, right?
And let me tell you who else is our avatar. if you are someone in that age range that has went through life and you've lost some things, maybe you went through a bad marriage, a divorce, maybe you went through some health issues. We're really going to be talking about these health issues and how they can be avoided by the way that we eat.
Because you are what you eat, right?
Absolutely. We have full control over that. So if you've lost something, maybe, it's your money. Maybe you had some investments. Maybe you had some things going on in that marriage and someone took everything and you think it's all over. It's not. It's not. We're going to bring some things to you to help you to rebuild that. And we're talking from experience. And one thing I just want to clarify is that the things that we talk about are things that either we have done or someone in our inner circle has done, and we know and trust them, and we've seen the results. Another thing that we want to do here is we want to bring some other professionals also. So, for an example, like we're talking about healthy eating, like we're not nurses and doctors and stuff, but we do know that there is a difference between good eating and bad eating. We do know that when we go to a grocery store in the hood, that the food is different than
in the more prominent places.
That's just real. That's just real. So what we'll do is we'll state our facts.
Actually, it's there, but it's more expensive.
Yeah.
In the hood.
Yeah.
So it's there in both places, but the pricing is the difference.
And why is that, right? Is it designed that way to keep people in the lower economic levels eating, Frosted Flakes for breakfast?
Well, they cater to what we have shown them we like as well, and when you're trying to shift in that space, it could be a bit of a challenge for the people or the providers that supply the food to change, because they know what their money makers are. And now, okay, you've been educated about eating healthier. We know that they like to eat sugary, processed foods. So we're going to keep pushing that for them to consume. And we'll also put the vegetables in there, but we're going to make it a bit pricier. Let's just see if they decide to choose healthy or stay with sugary processed foods. And because we're so programmed to, what we're used to doing, the way that we were raised, the way that our parents prepared foods for us, they did what they knew to do the best way that they could. And now we're in a new day and age where the food, the animals, they can't get it out to us soon enough. So they are accelerating the way that they are grooming the animals for us to have. And we are suffering from the way that the meat is being taken care of in this day and age.
Yeah. So not only will we bring our viewpoints, but we're going to be bringing in professionals in different categories as well. And we want you guys to really interact with us. We want you to submit questions so that we can go out and find the right people who are professionals in those areas as well, to bring back the right information to you. Now, anybody can start up a YouTube channel, right? Anybody can fake anything. We're not trying to fake anything here. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you just a little bit of background about us, our backdrop story, so that you can get more of a feel for us, because we want to come into your homes on a daily, or your phones, right? Nowadays on your phones, right? But we want to establish YouTube as our studio of real life information with no fluff, no magic beans,
and no smoke screens,
right? You're going to come get the real from here. And we'll be talking about real estate stuff, creative real estate, flipping houses, getting properties with no credit, how to get free homes, how to set up a nonprofit the right way in the real estate side, how to do land development. And then we're going to talk a lot about health, right? Now,
alternative lending.
Yeah, we're going to talk about alternative lending. What's that all about?
The creative, just like how they have creative real estate, there's a creative space for lending, especially for us entrepreneurs who typically are turned down by the banks because they ask for traditional paperwork that we don't have. We don't get a W-2. Like we don't, have pay stubs. So it's not that we don't have the means. It's the structure that the banks have set up. We just don't. That's not our structure. So what about the people that are entrepreneurs that have businesses and want to expand in their business by getting working capital? What about those people? So here we have an opportunity to talk to you all about the creative lending and how it can help to change things in your business.
And I like to give an example from the real estate standpoint. We have traditional banking where you can go and get a mortgage. And then we also have private money. We have hard money lenders who are out there. So the same thing is out there for business owners who don't have 2 years of tax returns.
Correct.
People who don't have great credit. People who don't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to wait for a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The SBA will definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do what they do, but there's a processing time in all of that. What if your processing time could be cut from 60 days to 48 hours?
Yeah. So, with that being said, we're going to have a great ride. You guys are going to want to come and smash that like button or subscribe.
Yes.
Right?
Subscribe.
And you're going to see 2 different styles also. You're going to see my style, and I can get animated because I'm excited about what I do. I'm excited about the gifts that I have and the way that I can share these with other people. And I just do it on a different level. But I can also bring it down too and tone it down when need be. And then you're going to have Laurenthian side over here. She's going to give it to you, laid back and just don't make sense. Right?
Metaphorically and fun, right? We want to always make learning fun.
Yeah. So let's just do this. Let's start out like this. This is our first live YouTube. We did a video and put it up on there. We did it on Facebook as well. But we want to build up this brand of our brand, Acquire brand, on YouTube. We want to eventually sell off the business. That's something else that we'll be talking about, how to acquire businesses, acquire real estate, mergers and M&A, right? But before we jump into that, I just kind of want to be real hospitable with you and let you know a little bit more about who we are. So we're going to start off over here with the lovely Mrs. Jones. Let her give you a little bit of her background. All right.
So I come from the hair industry, 2 decades of hair. I worked in a multicultural salon. So I didn't see hair. I'm sorry, I didn't see skin tone. I saw hair texture. It didn't matter what your skin tone was. Anyone could sit in my chair, and I was able to change the way that you walked in the door versus the way that you walked out of the door. And there was a lot of joy. There was a lot of pouring, right? Because as women and, men too, when we come to the salon or we go to the barbershop, that's our place where we can just relax. And as stylists, we are quote unquote unofficial therapist. So I did a lot of listening in that space, but I also did a lot of pouring in that space as well. They come in for service, but they also come in and they would get, their spirits uplifted. So I enjoyed that for a mere 2 decades. It provided a way for me to be there for my 2 children. I was a single mom. And I got to attend all of their events because I was in control of my schedule. So, yeah, I retired 2 years ago from behind the chair. And I teach in that space as well. But I've shifted into spiritual mindset. So I teach you all how to live via your spirit, which is your gut, versus your mind. I teach you how to tell your gut what to do versus your mind telling your gut what to do.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much her story. So a lot of times I just kind of want you to understand, like when we speak, how we could talk about the same thing, but there's always going to be different perspectives with people, right? But she's coming more from being active, using her hands,
transferring energy,
through
touch,
and all of that good stuff. And myself, I am in the number one. I ex-Marine, first of all, right? So did time, served over in a couple of camps here in the United States, but the longest tenure that I had was in Okinawa, Japan. I was in Fatima in Okinawa, and Simplify for those Marines that are out there. We got some great things that are going to be coming up for veterans, the female and the male persuasion. And I just kind of grew up a little bit harder with less things. So I appreciate things more. I have a ridiculous work ethic that some of you may have not seen before. And some of you know that you need that push to get outside of your comfort zone. So after I got out of the military, grew up on the East Coast and started working for a law firm, started learning accounting, accounts receivables, accounts payables, how these law firms work. And that's when I started finding out that I could use my skills. I had a gift to be able to get people to pay money that they didn't want to pay. So they helped me to do that. But all along, I knew that I wasn't meant for the cubicle. I wasn't meant for the cubicle. Like I would get so pissed off and frustrated because I was doing stuff for someone else when they told me when to come in, when to leave, when to take a lunch break. And then some of the superiors, I felt like I was smarter than them. Right? So I'm like, wow, why am I listening to this guy? And I find out more and more of their story. But I'm just that person, the whole be more, do more, and have more, right? So a lot of you are going to really resonate with that just as well as a lot of you are going to really resonate with Rent. So we look forward to questions and concerns, and we look forward to laughing with you. We look forward to crying with you. We look forward to experiencing with you. One thing before we get into some other stuff, we're going to switch over.
Definitely look forward to enlightening you.
Yeah. With the real. With the real, right? So with that being said, I just kind of want Rent to talk a little bit about Laurentian's House, which is a nonprofit that she has that is designed, well, she's right here. I'm going to tell you.
Laurentian's House is a nonprofit organization that is designed to help women to gain their inner wealth, right? And when I say inner wealth, I just mean like your mindset to help you understand that life happens. And although it has happened, it doesn't mean that it's designed to paralyze you. It's actually designed to propel you. It's, when life happens to us in a very traumatic manner, it's something greater behind that. I like to say a spiritual awakening. Are you going to answer the call, or are you going to continue to move in the space that you've been moving in? Because it's an opportunity for you to be able to shift. And at Laurentian's House, we help women, right, gain an understanding of how to take these moments of your life and use them to propel you forward so that you're not stuck. And you can see that you're not the only person that has encountered these particular types of situations, and that we did make it. So it's all about helping you to regain and stand tall in this powerful woman that you are. And sometimes it takes some cultivating, right? We didn't just become powerful women overnight. We learned to take our life experiences and use those to stand tall in being a powerful woman. So Laurentian's House is here to acknowledge the powerful women, but also reach back and help the younger ones that have not discovered the powerful woman within themselves. We want to help them discover that.
And there's also a real estate component too, where we are purchasing properties to be able to provide housing for women who are going through some type of tragedy, right, or some type of loss.
Yes.
But we're going to be giving back to the community like that. And I just want to say this for what I believe in as well, that I believe that the church has let us down. I believe that there are things that can be done in a better manner to serve the community. And what Laurentian's house is, it's a pillar in the community. And I believe that with compassion and care, that we can even show the church or show other nonprofit organizations how to really tap back into the community, which is you. So when we do any type of fundraising, it's really for the community. We're going to be hitting different cities and states like Michigan, right? We've done work in Detroit. We've done work in Flint. And we're going to continue to do work like that, working with local land banks and things like that. So housing and all those good things, we put together like some rally points. Like there are reasons to, when you talk about the whole concept of a powerful woman, that's a reason to either you're that powerful woman or you need help on becoming that powerful woman again, because you were born that, right? So
and that was just one of the pillars, right? There are multiple pillars that we will talk about as we continue in this space. So make sure that you all stay tuned so you can get enlightened on each pillar and what it means and how it can serve and help you, but also help others.
Absolutely. So I'm kind of just going to shift over a little bit. You know, normally in a big production studio, maybe a commercial comes on right now, but it's not a commercial. It's us just kind of gravitating over to the next thing, doing a segue into this. So the segue will be this. Let's make it about you. We would really appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel. Not only subscribe yourself, but let other people know what's going on over here at Acquire Global and Laurentian's house. Remember, the Acquire are the things that we're going to pick up in business, whether it's number one, health, and then it really spreads out to us acquiring businesses. We want to work with business owners who are doing at least $500,000 a year. That's our low end, but preferably $1 to $5 million. So if you are there and you need help with like your marketing and things like that, we want to be there. And if it's something where you need some type of partnership, we'd love to be able to be in a position to write you a check and partner with you in the business, right? Or just you can walk away from it if that's what you want to do. So my dad always said there's no
robbery
in a fair exchange. No robbery in a fair exchange. So I'm just going to be upfront, like I told you, like we promised you, and let you know. We are entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs sell things. Right? What we like to do is we like to acquire businesses. We like to acquire real estate. We want to acquire our health. We want to acquire, we all should want to acquire better health.
Yes.
Right? Better health, so that we can go out and do the things that we have been blessed to be able to do, so that we can start to live an amazing life on purpose. All right. So yes, we will be selling our materials, but we're also going to give out so much goodwill that you literally can do it for free. And for those who would want to take it a step further and personally work with Laurentian or personally work with myself or us together as America's power couple, then those opportunities will be there. So we'll be leading you to certain areas as well. But once again, there's no sales, no pressure, nothing. We're going to put the information out there and say, here's the do-it-yourself model of it. And what we do is we put together standard operating procedures, and we actually write it all out, and we can hand it over to you. We sell those we license those standard operating procedures in those avenues that we go down. So yeah, we got some good stuff coming. We have some really, really, really good stuff coming. So with that being said, let's talk about this real estate piece for a minute, right? We're going to talk about this real estate piece for a minute. So we got about another 15 minutes here, right? What I'd like to do in the next, sometimes I'll sit down and talk, but I'm really that type of teacher that likes to have a board or a flip chart or something behind me so that I can write it out. I like to write it down and make it plain, right? And I know a lot of you like that style of teaching also. We'll also have certain breakout groups and things like that. But let's just talk about something that we've discovered up in Michigan. And it's something called a land bank. And these land banks are all across the country in about 15 to 20 different states. And the land banks are municipalities. They're part of your local government. And they are they house properties that have been taken back from the county. And if the county tries to sell it, can't sell it, whatever the case may be, they hand it over to the land bank. Now, what you have to understand about this phenomenon is that the government took the property because they were delinquent in taxes. What do you think they really want when they're selling off those properties for below market value? They want the tax money. They want to be able to put the property back on the tax roll so that it can start making money in the community again. Because let's just break this down so that a third grader can understand it. What are taxes for? Well, one of the reasons for taxes is to be able to take care of things, right? Pay our policemen, pay our teachers, firefighters, pay when the roads are bad. And I don't know if that happens and works. That money is allocated for road work in Michigan because they have some pretty bad roads up there. Mm-hmm. But that's what it's supposed to be for. So we are now able to put ourselves in a position by doing certain things with for-profit corporations and nonprofit. Nonprofit being the most powerful one. Put a star next to that. Nonprofit being the most powerful one. Now, what we're able to do is we are able to create a retirement fund. Remember, Brent was talking about in the beginning, this was for people who may be at that retirement age, and then I said, or for people who have lost things. Mm-hmm. And sometimes a lot of times we feel that once we've lost those things, that we can never get them back. But we're here to tell you that there's a creative way of doing things that can allow you to recover what took you 30 years to acquire. And now acquire them in 5 years or less. 5 years or less. So that is something that we're excited about. Now, are you excited about learning the creative side of real estate? Are you excited about learning that you can get money for your business, even if you have bad credit? And if you have bad credit, would you like to know that you have some people that truly do work on credit and have results to help people get out of all of that mess? Isn't it good to know that you can actually have a trusted advisor, someone who's going to look out for your best interest, even if they don't make money? Listen, we've done things for people that it was more for their benefit than ours. Actually, it was for their benefit. Even if we don't make money every single time, if we can steer people down the right path, the right plan, the right direction, that's what a trusted advisor does. And that's all we want to do, is to use our God-given experiences in life, help you to put the pieces of the puzzle together, help you to know what to do and what what to do, as well as what not to do. How important is that, man? Knowing what not to do.
That's a great learning curve. Knowing what not to do, right? Not having to learn all these hard lessons to gain, I didn't have to do it that way, where you can listen to the guidance of individuals that's already done it that way and can steer you, in a different direction where you don't have to be on this learning curve that expands out the time, because you just talked about 5 years or less, and that is on the side of compressing time. So at this age in our lives, we don't want to take 5 years or 20 years to learn something that we could have learned in 5 years, when there is an opportunity placed in front of you to help you shave off some of that time.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm ready to rock and roll. And maybe, just maybe, if we could partner with 1% of you to be able to help you put yourself in a position to recover what you thought was eternally lost. And I'm talking about the real estate, and I'm talking about teaching you how to be put in the position of the bank, creating mortgages 10, 20, 30 years. You being the bank, not a landlord, and watching this restoration process, watching this resurrection of your financial life. It's nice. It's nice to lose it all and then start to see the pieces come back together, right? Because you're doing the right thing at the right time. And more importantly than that, you're the right person in the right place at the right time. That's where that mindset comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And what can we say about that, Ren, as we wind this down the next 10 minutes? What can we say about how important is that piece? Because the mindset has to be right, not just for you to think right, even to eat right, so that we can have the health that's required to be able to go out and do the things that are necessary.
You said it, right? Like it's about the willingness and the mindset space to want to incorporate change into your world. And a lot of us are settled in a way, especially when we talk about the particular avatar that we are here for. We've done things our way for a really long time, but in order for us to get different results, it's time to try on something in a different manner. And that is starting with your mindset, right? Understanding the words that come out of your mouth. They came out of your mouth because they were thoughts in your mind. So if you could become aware of what you think, because what you think, you will say. When you could be able to shift there, then you're beginning to shift and cultivate your world in a different manner, because it is stated that there's life and death in the power of your tongue. So before it gets to your tongue, it's a thought. So how about we begin to really become aware of our thought process and shift?
Absolutely. And this stuff is so powerful. I know a lot of people think it's mumbo jumbo. I know a lot of people think it's like feel good, rah, rah, but it's not. As soon as you think something, you activate that same being, that same philosophy out in the universe. Because we live in a world of what? Duality. So that means that you can't have one thing without having another. Example, if there's no up, how can there be a down? There can't be an east without it being a west. Mm-hmm. So even as we go into prayer time and we start to say our prayers, for those of you that pray, there's something in here that says something like, as it is on earth, as it is in heaven, as it is in heaven, as it is on earth. Sorry, I'm a little rusty on that right now. But all that means is that we live in a world of duality. And once you think it on this plane, you activate it in another plane. So if you're thinking that, oh, this is rah-rah, oh, this law of attraction, oh, this new age thought, it's not new age. It's been going on since the beginning of time.
Ancient years.
Ancient years. So that's something that we really want to delve into and give it the importance that it deserves, so we can take that mindset shift and start to apply it first in the way we think, and let that transfer over into the thoughts. And that's, our thoughts are choices that we make. Now we can start choosing our food right, because it's important. And as Ren said, listen, I know I've been eating a lot of death, and a lot of us have. unless you've been vegan for life or vegetarian for life or whatever. But it's time to really start to take control because too many of us are ending up in these hospitals. Too many of us, and I'm going to say myself, sitting here with packets of medications, and these doctors just keep throwing it at you. As long as you accept it, they'll just keep throwing it at you. But we have to consciously make the decision that we don't want this way of living anymore. And it starts here and expands out. And when we can come together, and this is why it's great to be in a group of people that think like you think, because now there's encouragement.
Community.
Now that community is holding you to the fire. You said, right? You said, remember, right? So we need that in life, but it has to be the right things, right? So that's what we're bringing to this table. And we are honored to have you join us each and every episode. We'll be pre-filming episodes and releasing them. We travel also, so every single one might not be live like this, but we can pre-record stuff and put it up in there. And we can pick a day of the week, right, where we answer questions. So we sit down with our new community on YouTube, and we get to know them like they get to know us. We don't want the big I's and little U's. We respect everybody's thoughts, wishes, religions, habits. We respect it. But there comes a time in your life when you understand that your absolute best thinking has gotten you where you are. And as a grown-up, as a person, intelligent people that you are, you have to finally say, I'm the farmer of this crop, my life that I created. Do I like what I see? So over there, I wanted some cornbread. I wanted some collard greens. Over there, I wanted some tomatoes. But you know what? In this section of my life, I mistakenly planted nightshade, thinking that I was planting mangoes. Guys, if we don't control our thinking and the things that we plant in our grounds, our mental farms, there's a big difference between a mango and nightshade. Nightshade is poison.
Weeds.
Right? Nightshade is poison. And watch this. The ground that you plant in, doesn't care what you put in it. It will cultivate that. So if it's mangoes, you're going to get a lot of great mangoes. Apples, give great apples. But if it's nightshade, if it's poison, if it's cactuses when you don't want cactuses, it's going to grow abundantly. This is why it's so important on this mindset side. And we're going to beat this in the ground. Because we all have to develop new habits, a new way of doing things. We have to do something different. And now's the time. The time is now.
Time is now.
Choose ye this day, today. All right?
With
that being said, as always, I'm going to let Rent close us out. Right? Let her close us out on just a recap of what it is that you learned. And we'll be seeing you on the next one. With her recap.
So it's just a reiteration to make sure that you hit the subscribe button.
Smash it.
Smash the subscribe button. Tune in to us. Share our content with people that you feel that this may resonate with, and we will continue to feed your spirit, feed you mentally, right? Give you things to help encourage and move your body physically, and just a new way of thinking and movement with life and your decision making.
So we want to get our minds right, so we can get our money right.
Money right.
Okay.
In
That's
2024.
I'm CJ Jones.
I'm Rit.
We'll see you on the next one.
Toodles.